Madam Ambassador, distinguished heads of so many law enforcement agencies, made me feel very safe tonight, I have to say. I think we can all feel very safe as long as our conscience is clear. I'm very grateful for being invited here, and I will speak on behalf of my commissioner, who would really like to be here, but he's traveling. He is a former judge, is really interested in those issues, and now is a commissioner for agriculture. But first and foremost, I would like to thank Coldiretti, Secretary General, for inviting me to this event. I'm glad to be here, and I will start with some, well, it'll be a bit long, apologies, I'll try to cut it short. The principle of legality. The principle of legality obviously is central in the EU context and takes various forms. First of all, in the European agricultural law, has allowed to meet the evolving objectives of the CAP. First, producing sufficient food after the war to ensuring the stability of markets and a fair standard of living to farmers. We see today agricultural law evolving towards greening the agriculture and to protecting interests of consumers, securing high-quality products, and promoting organic farming, for example. At the same time, the agricultural law promotes that our rural communities are vibrant and attractive places to live and work. Law also plays a key role in a policy like the CAP by ensuring that a comprehensive set of rules, bodies, and procedures protect the financial interest of the EU in agriculture. It is thus of utmost importance to safeguard the EU budget, which is ultimately fed with taxpayers' money, your money, and needs to be used in full compliance with the EU and national law. In this respect, I welcome the introduction of the Observatory to fight against Agromafia. I will go back to the specific issue of Agromafia in a little while. In pursuing the financial interests, the EU legislation ensures that all parties involved enjoy a solid right of defense in line with the principles of the rule of law and human rights. Contradictory procedures are provided at various EU levels, and EU and national courts have ultimate say on judicial matters. Before briefly introducing a few aspects relating to legality and protection of financial interests of the EU in the domain of agriculture, I would like to point out that while CAP rules can help to reduce the risk of fraud and illegality in the agricultural sector, the CAP is not the most suitable tool to prevent fraud and to tackle issues such as Agromafia. This is why national instruments are a key element in ensuring protection against this critical phenomena. I will skip the bureaucratic part on the so-called integrated administration and control system. You know it very well. It operates within the CAP. Member states are designing it. It's a very important tool. It's a tool that controls, manages, and monitors the effectiveness of the financial support delivered by the European Union to more than 6 million farmers. I will skip that to keep my remarks a bit short, while underlying that IACS obviously is our key tool that the member states are using. But coming to the Agromafia itself, I'm coming now to the core of the discussion. As is known, business developed by organized crime in the agricultural sector involves different criminal activities, from traditional methods directly connected to the land, use of violence against farmers to get control of the land, submission of false claims, extortion, etc., to financial crimes committed on a global scale with the aim to reinvest illicit money in the legal economy, so-called money laundering. Criminal organizations try to get control of agri-food supply chains from the production to the distribution and retail of final products. The European Commission is treating this phenomenon very seriously. It is investing resources in modern technologies to fight against Agromafia in the context of the digital transformation, which is one of the 6 policy priorities of President von der Leyen's Commission. In particular, it is supporting member states in controls with remote sensing, as well as through judicial cooperation. A particularly promising field is the development of blockchain technology, which could ensure reliable traceability of products along the whole supply chain. Despite it seems to be referring only to Italy, we are aware that the phenomenon of agromafia is spread all around Europe. Agromafia undoubtedly represent a threat, not only to honest market operators, but also to public health, and in general, they're an obstacle for the development of the whole society. The European Commission, my commissioner, is committed to protecting the financial interests of the European Union, and the appropriate resources are devoted to such a fundamental task. I will move a little bit to the final topic on seasonal workers, because I think it's important, because it's often linked to agromafia, phenomenon of illegal practices concerning seasonal workers. Unfortunately, in the EU, criminal activity takes place in the agri-food sector also by means of trafficking of domestic workers and seasonal workers who have their identity documents withheld by their gang master, employer, and then are forced to work under unreasonable conditions. The new Common Agriculture Policy is specifically addressing this issue, and my commissioner agreed with those who proposed it. And according to the social conditionality mechanism, farmers must provide their workers with a written description of the agreed working conditions, and will have to ensure a safe and healthy working environment. Where farmers are found to be in breach of these rules, the cap payments are reduced proportionally. The social conditionality mechanism only applies to beneficiaries of direct payments and area-based rural development payments. This means that not all farmers are concerned by it. In the fruit and vegetable and wine sector, there can be interventions contributing to improving workers' conditions, or advice can be received via the farm advisory system. Establishing the social conditionality mechanism in the CAP clearly signals that mistreatment of workers in the farm sector will no longer be tolerated. Together with other member states, Italy is a forerunner in the application of social conditionality to the CAP. Mr. Paolo De Castro here was a big advocate of that solution, since it is applying it already as of 2023, the first year of the new CAP implementation, while social conditionality will become compulsory for all member states by 2025. Again, thank you so much for inviting me. Sorry for being a bit too long. Good luck with your proceedings. Enjoy the rest of the evening.